weekend at the District 84 Conference and wishes that you all had been there. He wants you to know that if you haven't been to a district conference, you don't know what you're missing. And he hopes that you can make it to the next one. Andy's speech is entitled In Praise of Mark Miro for Genius is a Genius Does. Please welcome Andy Brown.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. And just for the record, that was genuine is as genuine does. And there's a reason for that. So make yourself comfortable. When I tell you about my friend Mark Miro, you may have heard of Mark Miro. His name may be moving from the back of your mind to the front of your mind. And you're asking yourself, how do I know that name? Friends and fellow Toastmasters, indulge me for a bit while I don't perorate and I tell you about Mark Miro is a world champion professional wrestler. He's WWF, WCW, and he was voted Rookie of the Year when he was only 30 years old. He was a millionaire. He had multiple luxury mansions, luxury cars. He had more celebrity friends than he could count, and he had a beautiful trophy wife. And one day, Mark lost it all. And when I say he lost it all, I mean Mark lost every single thing a man could possibly lose in his life, including his own. He almost lost his own life. Almost took his own life. But fortunately for us and the world, Mark had such a strong intelligence and such a strong sense of right and wrong that he made a better choice. Since that moment of that day, Mark has dedicated his life to helping others. I heard about Mark a long time ago. I've been hearing about him for a long time. Mainly because he was this celebrity that lived in Oviedo. Now, I'm not into professional wrestling, never was, but I was always curious for the simple fact that there are not a lot of celebrities that live in Oviedo. I even think I remember seeing him walking into the Old World's Gym a couple of times. And many years later, a friend of mine, out of the blue, started talking about him. Mark Miro is such an awesome guy. I want to work for Mark Miro. So, of course, I asked him why. Oh, he's such an awesome guy. I've always wanted to work for someone like that. And I remember thinking to myself, dude, you're way too big for midget wrestling, and you're not even close to the right size for the regular wrestling. What I didn't know was that Mark had started a ministry called Champion of Choices, and he'd opened a workout facility right next to it. And one day I received a Facebook invitation to hear Mark speak at a church in Winter Park. A voice inside my head was saying, go and sing. Go and sing. And so I did. And he was excellent. He was very powerful on the stage. But the Toastmaster and the trainer in me kept saying, I can help him. So, believe it or not, I called him. And I left a message. And I said, hello, Mark. My name's Andy Brown. You don't know me, but I can help you. And lo and behold, he called me back and said, hello, Andy. I don't know you, but I think I'd like your help. And a friendship was born. What I could not have known at the time is that Mark Miro was one of the most real, humble, sincere, genuine, and caring people I have ever met in my life. And according to him, he wasn't always this way, but he is now. Mark started his Champion of Choices ministry to find a way to connect with middle schoolers and high schoolers who are at risk. Give them a role model and the strength to make the right choices. In fact, it's around the corner on Douglas. The most outcast, ugly, alone, and afraid of them approach Mark and are instantly transformed by the energy of his love and acceptance. And he literally saved lives. Much of his personal fortune and most of his time went into this. and still does. Mark willingly and openly shares his life story, his ups and downs, his peaks and valleys, his victories and tragedies, and his successes. And he does so in excruciatingly honest detail. In doing so, he gives everyone in the room, even the men, permission to admit their weaknesses, to admit that they feel hurt, and permission to get help. They look at this man who most of them know from his macho He-Man character days, and who is still in almost mythical physical shape. They hear him allowing his emotion to bubble up, and they see him allowing his tears to flow, and they think, if a person like that can feel this way, then it must be okay for me. And as powerful as his work is, he has a hard time even asking for donations. 100% goes to his ministry, and he knows it because he doesn't personally need it, and to witness the genuine gratefulness when someone makes even a small donation affirms the passion, conviction, and caring of this man. Most importantly, Mark Muro's life has been transformed and dedicated to Jesus Christ. He is constantly working to bring people to him or to get them to make him a bigger part of their life. And with all of his celebrity, I call Mark a true friend who calls me when I have been so busy that I haven't been around, just to make sure that I'm okay. And like all of my other true friends, I feel great when he calls. But I have a feeling Mark feels that way about everyone. Madam President.